Is there a loud, sloppy, ego-inflated bar philosopher in your neighborhood? Does he smell like warm beer and broken promises? Does he think yelling equals leadership? Does he refer to himself as respected? But nobody can name one respectable thing he's done. Well, good news. Introducing Willie Begone, the first ever ego-neutralizing, noise-reducing, reality-enhancing parody product designed to handle your local embarrassment without lifting a finger. What is it? Willie Begone TM is a revolutionary three-step system. Step 1, mirror, spray, forces subject to confront their own reflection. Side effects may include sudden humility. Step 2, accountability, fogger, TM. Releases documented facts into the air. Watch bravado shrink in real time. Step 3, audience remover, TM. Because bullies without an audience are just guys yelling at furniture. Tired of someone bragging about fights from 2009? One spray of Willie Begone TM and suddenly, nah, I was just joking. It wasn't like that. I've changed. Testimonials. Before Willie Begone TM, he was pounding the bar and yelling about respect. After one application, he was Googling job listings. The silence? Unreal. I hadn't heard that street this peaceful in years. We applied it near a pizza truck, and the block improved 78%. Not actual science, but it feels scientific. Warning label. Willie Begone TM may cause sudden loss of false confidence, license reviews, public fact-checking, exposure to reality, dramatic reduction in bar stool thumping. If subject begins yelling, "You don't know me," product is working. So if your neighborhood has a self-appointed king of nothing, if you're tired of loud without leadership, don't argue. Don't escalate. Just apply. Willie Begone TM. Because noise fades, facts stick. And humility? That's permanent. Pizzaverse Studios. Parody Division. No actual Willies were harmed in the making of this product, just egos.
Mugs, what the fuck you doing in there, you prick?
Analyzing Evil. The Livestream Meltdown. A Pizzaverse Studios production. In association with Palermo Productions. Written by Bambi Palermo. Narrated by Vincent DiPrio. There's a moment. Right before everything goes wrong. You don't see it at first. Neither do they. A live stream begins like any other. A camera turns on. A face appears. A personality steps forward. And thousands of people start watching. But unlike a video, there's no editing here. No second takes. No control. Just pressure. Real-time pressure. Today on Analyzing Evil, we break down what happens when that pressure cracks. The illusion of control. Live streaming creates a dangerous illusion that the person on camera is in control. They set the tone. They lead the conversation. They hold the attention. But in reality, the audience holds the power. And that power shows up in one place: the chat, the flood. At first, it's manageable. A few comments, some jokes, some support. Then it grows. Faster. Louder. More aggressive. Criticism slips in. Then insults. Then attacks. And the brain, it doesn't process it as text. It processes it as confrontation. Over. And over. And over again. Ego under fire. Here's where it gets dangerous. Because live streaming isn't just performance. It's identity. When someone criticizes the content, it feels personal. When they mock the creator, it feels like disrespect. And for some personalities, especially those built on ego, that's gasoline. The loss of filter. Normally, people have time to think, to edit themselves, to calm down. Live streaming removes that. There's no buffer, no delay, no time to breathe. And under pressure, the brain shifts from thinking to reacting. The snap. It doesn't happen all at once. It builds. Frustration. Irritation. Defensiveness. Then something small sets it off. A comment. A joke. A challenge. And suddenly, they're not performing anymore. They're reacting. The spiral. Once it starts, it's hard to stop. Because now the audience sees it. And they push harder. More comments. More insults. More pressure. The creator tries to fight back. Argues. Explains. Defends. But every response feeds the moment. And the moment becomes the content. The audience effect. Here's the twist. The audience isn't just watching. They're participating. Some want to help. Some want to provoke. Some just want to see what happens next. But all of them are part of the pressure. After the fallout, the stream ends. The camera turns off. The moment is over. But online, it's just beginning. Clips spread. Reactions explode. The meltdown becomes the narrative. And the person. They're left with the consequences. The psychology behind it. Livestream meltdowns aren't accidents. They're predictable. They happen when three things collide. Pressure, ego, and exposure. Add an audience. Remove the filter. And eventually, something breaks. The moral. The internet doesn't just show you who people are. It shows you who they become. Under pressure. Because when there's no time to think, no time to hide, no way to edit the moment, you don't get the performance. You get the truth. Live streaming changed everything. It brought creators closer to their audience. But it also removed the barrier that protected them. And sometimes, that barrier was the only thing holding it together. This has been Analyzing Evil. Credits. Analyzing Evil. A Pizzaverse Studios production. In association with Palermo Productions. Written by Bambi Palermo. Narrated by Vincent DiPrio. If you're starting to see how fast control can disappear, how pressure can turn performance into chaos, you're paying attention. Subscribe. Because in the Pizzaverse, we don't just watch the breakdown. We explain it. And let me tell you one last thing. Everybody thinks they're in control until the chat turns on them. Then, you find out real quick who you really are.
In a world where dignity is optional and couches are temporary, one man stood up, pointed like Oprah with a clearance budget, and said the words that changed everything. And you get a futon. That's right, folks. Not a house, not a lease, a futon. Because when your life's been a non-stop flop from sofa to sofa, you don't need stability. You need furniture that folds, just like your plans. And today's lucky winner? Tony Bum Pizza. Yes, that Tony Bum Pizza, the human carry-on bag, the guy whose mailing address is wherever he last begged. And who stepped up to buy it? Muggsy. Yeah, Muggsy bought Tony a futon because even charity has limits. Watch as Tony lays down, the futon squeaks, and both of them immediately regret their life choices. Dual-purpose furniture, sleep by night, existential dread by day. Admiral impeaches futons, perfect for bums, grifters, and guys who swear they're just down on their luck for the 8th year straight. No refunds, no dignity, and absolutely no delivery after dark. You get a futon, and you definitely need a futon. Where dreams fold, and so do people.
It starts with attention. A like. A comment. A spike in views. For most people, that's enough. But for some, it's never enough. Because attention can become addictive. More views. More clicks. more reactions. And suddenly, it's not about the content anymore. It's about being seen. At any cost. Controversy, drama, shock value, conflict, outrage. Clout chasers don't just create moments. They manufacture them. Push boundaries. Cross lines. And when that stops working, they go further. Because the algorithm rewards attention, not integrity. And the audience, they keep watching. So the question becomes, where's the line? And how far are you willing to go to stay relevant? Next time on Analyzing Evil, we break down the psychology of clout chasing, why attention becomes identity, how validation rewires behavior, and why some people can't stop chasing it. Analyzing Evil. The psychology of clout chasers. Coming soon.
He's a good father, 2 sons and a daughter, but he wakes up and